So, in the last session, we went ahead and wrote a unit test to check that a empty shopping cart, so a shopping cart that's just been created, which would be empty, that doesn't have any items in it. And that test failed, and then in the TDD way, we made the test pass and it turned green. Right, what's the next test? Are we done with our empty shopping cart yet? Well, maybe not. So an empty shopping cart has got a couple of properties. One of them is that there are no items in it. And the other one, what might the other one be? Maybe the other one is that it's got a total cost of 0. And we have to tell the computer as much through our programming. A computer doesn't handle ambiguity well. It doesn't know that an empty shopping cart doesn't have a total of $5.37. We have to tell the computer everything the way we have to tell everything to a 2-year-old. Alright, I think this is a good analogy. So the computer doesn't automatically know that an empty shopping cart has got a total of 0. So we have got another degenerate condition here, and we better program that into the computer. So let's create a unit test for that. I'm going to write that underneath here. So as usual, we start with the fact attribute, public void, and it's going to be pretty much when create cart, cart, then total. I'm just going to make a total or total amount. I think total is good enough. Total is 0. Is that a good name? How does it read? When create cart, then total is 0. Okay, I think that's pretty good. What do we have to have? Once again, we have to have a shopping cart instance of our cart is equal to new shopping cart as before. Alright, brilliant. And then cart dot, okay, what do we do here? Well, simply this, cart dot total dot, which doesn't exist yet, but we have just kind of brought it about. Through the test, we're bringing about the interface on cart, so the methods and properties that are exposed, we're bringing that about through our test. Total, and then should dot be 0. That reads nicely like English. Cart dot total should be 0. Alright, and total isn't something that shopping cart has, so we better put that on. So public, ultimately total will be a decimal. We want to have dollars and cents, but right now we're going to go with a simpler numeric type. We're going to go with the integer type because that will do. Remember, as per rule number 3 of the TDD rules, write the least possible amount of implementation code, the simplest implementation code to pass the test, and that's what we're doing here. So public int, okay, cool, let's go with that. Total get. Okay, so total, because it's an integer, the default will be 0, which means the test would pass. We had a compilation error. I want to turn that into a runtime error. And why do I want to turn the test from a compilation error still into a breaking test? Why am I not happy with turning the test green really quickly? Because I want to maintain the sensitivity of the test even at runtime. So it actually tests the code that we have got. So it doesn't just accidentally pass, but it deliberately passes. And to do this, it's a good idea because it is really easy to write unit tests that just happen to pass by accident. That always pass. And we want these unit tests to be sensitive to changes. So I'm going to turn this unit test into still a breaking test. Okay, we'll have the total property, but it'll be a total property with an incorrect value. So I'm just going to set that is equal to -1. That'll be the initialization value for total. Okay, so now if we run the unit test, it will still break. And I did this intentionally. Okay, we got a message up here. Expected counter total to be 0, but found -1. Why did I do that? So that now we can deliberately write code that passes the test to green. I didn't want to accidentally, just through some sort of happenstance initialization value to make the test pass. I wanted to do it deliberately. And it's a good idea to make this happen. Make our test pass deliberately. Otherwise, we will be writing many unit tests that just happen to pass, never mind what the code is. So they're always green. It's a good idea to write tests that deliberately break, and then we make them deliberately pass. Okay, so now the solution is obvious. We come along, set total to 0 very deliberately. Let me run the unit test again. Fantastic. The unit test passes. Great. Now that this test passes, it means we have finished with the empty shopping cart condition, and we'll have those tests for an empty shopping cart, that it's empty and that the total is 0 going forward, which is great. So as we extend the logic for a shopping cart and we end up adding items into it and removing them, if we ever in a state where all items have been removed, we know that the total should be 0, the card should be empty, and we've got the tests to prove it. And these tests should still pass. Otherwise, we'll have broken this behavior. Alright, there is nothing further to do here. It's time for us to look at adding some items into the cart. Let's move on.